How you doing today? This is real estate coach Craig Proctor. Thank you for joining me. We're going to talk about how to actually get rich as a real estate agent. And this might sound kind of counterintuitive, but the easiest way to get rich as a real estate agent is to actually stop just being a real estate agent. So let me explain what I mean by that. We're brought up mostly thinking the harder you work and the more hours you put into this, the more money you're going to make. And the problem is that's only going to take you so far. So how is it that I coach agents that are making millions of dollars a year? Well, most agents struggle to make $50,000 or $100,000 a year, and they're working 7 days a week. Well, what we're going to talk about is exactly how I did it and how I've taught over 30,000 agents how to make more money and have more time and more freedom in their life. So thank you very much for joining me. Let me know what location you're in right now. What marketplace do you serve? Because we're going to get some referrals going back and forth. Of course, I don't take any of the money. We just, send the referrals back and forth to you folks. So we have agents from all over the United States and Canada with us today. This will be watched potentially by thousands of realtors. So type in the name of the city and state or the city and province that you service here. And let's talk today about how to make some money. Okay, now, why should you listen to me? Well, firstly, I actually did become rich selling real estate. Many of you know my story. Within 3 years of having my real estate license, I was named the #1 RE/MAX agent in the world. That's right. I made more money than any other RE/MAX agent in the world. I don't know whether there is 100,000 or more RE/MAX agents, but the miracle was I did it within 3 years. Some of you might think, well, I'm in a special market or whatever. No, I'm in a small town. When I started in real estate, there was like 50,000 people in my town, very average price range, nothing special about me or my marketplace. And this is one of the misconceptions that many have about getting rich in real estate. They think that you have to have some special skill set, that you have to come into the business already with a lot of money. I had no money. I had no money when I started in real estate. In fact, I had no experience. I'd never sold anything in my life. I had no marketing experience. So a lot of people that knew me when I made the decision to get into real estate pretty much believed that I was going to fail. And I got to say, in that first year of selling real estate, I believed I was going to fail as well because I made the same mistake that most of you made. We get into the real estate business, and the mistake is we look around at what everyone else is doing, and we believe that's the way to do it. And we even see some agents that are fairly successful doing that old traditional stuff. But none of them really break through to make millions of dollars without doing exactly what we're going to discuss today. So by year 3, I had kind of cracked the code on how to do this. And for the next 20 years, I made between $3 and $4 million every single year. And I was able to have a life outside of real estate. I was able to work less than 40 hours a week, take the weekends off, coach my kids through sports, actually have a life. And I know that's what all you want, right? We got into real estate because we want more freedom, right? What you believed is when you got into real estate that you would make more money and you would have more time and therefore more freedom. The problem is doing it the traditional way, you end up trading many, many hours for not enough money, and then we become stuck. So right now, let me know if this makes sense to you. How many of you are kind of stuck in your business where, it goes up a little bit, maybe you go from 50 grand to 100,000 or 100 to 150, but for most agents, at some point, we get stuck with our income. Why? Because we're using the same strategies and we're trading our time for money to the point where we have no more time to trade, right? So once you're already working 50 hours a week or 60 hours a week, that strategy of trading more time for more money no longer works. You're sort of capped out. And it's funny, right? Because at the end of every year, we say to ourselves, well, next year is going to be different. I'm going to do better. But why would it be any different if we're using the same strategies literally year after year after year? We're pretty much going to get the exact same results. So I'm assuming you joined me here today because you want to get better results. Well, I want you to think about this. If you're going to get better results, you've got to stop doing what you're doing. Okay, you can't, in other words, you can't keep doing it the way you're doing it now and expecting a different result. I'm going to go a level deeper than that and say that you have to have a different mindset. Okay, you have to have a completely new paradigm, which I want to introduce you to today, that your income is not related in any way. It's not attached to the number of hours that you work. I mean, how can you explain the fact that I've got realtors that I coach for a number of years that are making, some of them, over $1 million per month, not in volume, $1 million a month in gross commission income? Tracy King in Tennessee, I mean, the guy's in the middle of nowhere, is making over $1 million a month. As you know, Sarah Reynolds has been my client for a long time. I think she's number 1 or 2 in the world for Keller Williams. She makes over $1 million a month. So how do they do it? First of all, well, I got to change the way you think about what is possible. This is called our paradigm. And what is a paradigm? A paradigm is really other people's habits, right? So what forms your paradigm? I don't know. It's the way you were raised. It's all your experiences through elementary school, through high school, all the crap they taught you when you got into real estate, right? What you've observed, that forms your paradigm, the way that what you believe and the way you think about your real estate business. So before we can actually get you to change what you do, the first step is to get you to change how you think. You see, real estate agents that hang out with me, they say to me, Craig, I could never go back to doing what I used to do before I met you because my thinking's changed, right? Like once you see this, you can't unsee it, right? Once you hear this, you can't unhear it. So my purpose today is to give you kind of a breakthrough, first of all, in your thinking as to what is possible, okay? I want you, if you wish, to have a highly profitable real estate business versus a job, and it's a bad job as a solo agent. And what do I mean by that when I say it's a bad job? Well, if you were a salesperson for corporate America, let's say that you weren't in real estate, and you were a pretty good salesperson, and you had a job anywhere in corporate America, they probably pay you $150,000 a year. You'd have a company car. You'd have 4 or 5 weeks of paid vacation, and they would supply all the leads and the contacts. None of that's true in real estate, right? We get into real estate thinking we have a business, but in reality, let me know if you believe this is true. Let me know in the comments. We kind of have a bad job. We're always kind of worried about where our next paycheck's going to come from. We don't have any paid vacation. There's no company car. And we have to pay for all the leads. We have to create our own contacts. And if you were in corporate America and you worked for a company for 15 or 20 years, you would retire with a big fat pension. Not in real estate. When's the last time you've been to a real estate agent's retirement party? It doesn't exist, right? Real estate agents, when they have a job, they build no equity, right? They just work and work and work until they can't work anymore. But what if I could teach you how to create a real business? The definition of a real business is it works without you, at least to some degree. My business, when I really got it up and going, I don't know if many of you know this story, but I was actually living in Florida, and my business up in Toronto was pumping out 400 to 500 transactions every year, and I wasn't even in the country. Okay, I have many members like that. I have one guy, he lived in Philadelphia. His name is Warren Flax, and he was in Central America. That's where he met his wife. He's living down there and making millions of dollars up in Philadelphia. I have another guy, Mike Zakos. He moved from California to Tennessee, to Nashville, Tennessee. Didn't know anybody. Already in the first year he's been there, he's making over $1 million a year. He said that last year he went to Ireland for several months and his business continued without him. How would you like to be able to have that? Not only would you make more money, but it would give you the freedom to live your life and do the things you want to do, which is what a business does, right? A business makes your life better. A business allows you to do the things that you want, to have the money and the time and the freedom. A job doesn't do that. So how do we do this? What are the steps? That's what I want to get into next. So if you haven't let me know what marketplace you're in, go ahead and do that now. We want to get some referrals. I mean, this is about you making money. I come on live every single week and I share with you what made me successful. And not only what made me successful, but how I've helped create more millionaire real estate agents than any other coach or trainer or guru out there. You see, I can give you the specifics and how to actually get rich selling real estate because I did it. A lot of these guys talk about something they've never done. Some of these coaches and gurus have never even had a real estate license, let alone made millions of dollars doing this. So let me know what you think about this. Let me know your comments. Make sure if this is making sense, smash the blue like button or give me a little heart. And definitely let me know your location, the city, state, or city and province that you're in. Okay, so why do we want to do this? I did a pretty good job of covering why it's better to have a business than a job. I mean, let's step out of real estate for a minute. Would you rather be an oil rig worker working on the oil rig, or would you rather own the oil well? Pretty obvious, right? You can leverage yourself and follow these steps and understand this is not difficult. That's a misconception a lot of real estate agents have is, well, this must be difficult to do it because most agents fail. It's really not if you have someone help you do it. Okay, so in other words, you don't have to have a creative bone in your body. Everything you want to do in real estate has already been done by me and thousands of other realtors that I've made millionaires. All you have to do is say, you know what, I'm interested. And we sort of teach you how to do it step by step by step. Everything that you need to know, all the questions, they've all been answered before. So how do we do this? There's really 3 steps. The first step is, and it all comes back to leverage, by the way. The first step is to leverage yourself with marketing. Okay, this is the most important step to get right. Most real estate agents are real estate agents first and marketers later, or they're maybe not even marketers. They end up cold calling and door knocking or buying leads from Zillow or Realtor. If you want to be really successful as a real estate agent, you have to understand that you are your own marketing director, okay? You have to be a student of marketing. And that's what we teach you first to do. We show you how to never make a cold call again. Instead, we show you how to run inexpensive advertising, offering buyers and sellers things that they want so they contact you. Imagine how your life would change if that was true for you. If you never had to make an outbound call again, and instead you had every week dozens or maybe hundreds of qualified buyers and sellers reaching out to you. You know, the crazy thing is, I mentioned, I was #1 in the world for RE/MAX within 3 years. Do you think I was the best real estate agent in my city or in the country? Of course not, but I had the very best marketing. I created this perception in my marketplace that I was the best person to help you buy or sell real estate. Once the marketing that I teach you starts to kick in, at some point, you actually would not be able to physically go out on all the appointments. I know that sounds crazy, right? But that's what happened to me. I would be, on a Saturday or Sunday, I would be out on 5 or 6 listing appointments every single day. I was actually kind of making myself sick on success. I would have, an 11 a.m., a 12 p.m., a 1 p.m. I would go from listing appointment to a listing appointment to the point where I couldn't physically go out on all the appointments. Now, some of you are like, okay, give that to me. I'd be happy to do that. Well, be careful what you wish for, because in the beginning, it was pretty cool. Like, I had no money, and all of a sudden now I'm making lots of money, and I'm younger and I'm energetic, and I throw myself into this. But at some point, you become exhausted. How many of you are already tired of this? How many of you are looking at this and you're saying, you know what, I may be able to do the sprint, but I can't really do the marathon. I can't keep this up. So we got to leverage ourselves. When I got to the point where I ran this special type of Craig Proctor marketing, where basically I'm offering stuff the buyers and sellers want, and they're contacting me. That was pretty cool because I never had to make a cold call. All I had to do was answer incoming calls. How easy is that? Buyers and sellers are asking me for my assistance, and on the strength of my marketing and the words that came out of my mouth, I was easily able to differentiate myself from the other real estate agents. And I got to the point where I just couldn't do it all by myself. I had this massive overflow of business, which is good, right? If you want to grow your business, you have to have an abundance of it, right? You have to have an overflow of business if you want to grow it. This gave me the luxury of going to step number 2. Okay, so step number 1 is leverage yourself with marketing. In case you're taking notes, leverage yourself with smart, modern marketing. And step number 2 was to become really efficient. So before I ran out and I hired people, which is step number 3, I made myself super efficient as a solo agent. Remember, I didn't have anybody helping me. I sold 155 homes in year number 2 just with me, like no assistant. I guess I did have an assistant. I was the assistant. So I was doing the doing, but I was also doing, the keys and the photos and the feature sheets. I was doing all of it. And I was pretty burnt out by year number 2. You ever get to that point where it's kind of a breaking point and you say, I can't do this? That's what happened to me in year number 2. I got to the point where, I was successful. I was selling 155 homes a year. I'm keeping all the money, but I have no life. I'm working all the time. And I'm thinking there's got to be a better way. So I start to study businesses and industries outside of real estate. And I realize other industries, other businesses, they don't work like real estate agents. Look at the way your lawyer works. Okay, your attorney probably delegates 80% of what they do to legal assistants. They have a team. A doctor has a team. They've got nurses and assistants and other doctors. Architects have junior architects. So what I did is I took a big leap. I was the first real estate agent that I know of in the history of ever to start hiring licensed agents. Now, I know that doesn't sound like super innovative today, but I created this. We're talking way back in the 1980s. Now, remember, I've never been a broker. I was always just a real estate agent working at the RE/MAX office. But because I had this overflow of business, you see how easy it was for me to recruit? I called other agents that I respected in my marketplace, and I said, hey, look, I'm maxed out. As you know, I'm doing very well. I literally cannot go out to all the listing appointments or buyer appointments. Would you like to partner up in some capacity? So they met up with me, and we worked out a commission split. And the first lady I hired, her name was Lindy, Lindy with an E. And the first year with me, she was brand new in real estate, by the way. I met her doing an offer presentation, and I'm out complaining after the offer's accepted. I'm complaining to Lindy about I'm working all the time. She goes, yeah, you're doing really well. You've only been a couple years at this. I'm brand new. And it actually took a woman to come up with this. She said, well, why don't I come and work with you? That's how I hired my first. And Lindy made $250,000 in that first year, which means she made me $250,000. Now, Lindy was with me for over 20 years. So I think over that 20-year period, she made me about $6 million. Well, eventually, long story short, I had 8 outside sales agents. And I'm giving more and more of the listing and buyer appointments to my highly skilled team. So in the beginning, what I had to teach them to do is, people are calling Craig Proctor. So how do we send Lindy out when the buyers and sellers, the clients are expecting Craig Proctor? So that's the first thing we had to handle. So the introduction, when Lindy would go out on an appointment, she'd say, she wouldn't apologize. She wouldn't say, oh, I'm sorry, Craig's not here, he sent me. She'd say, hi, my name's Lindy and I'm Craig's partner. I'm Craig's selling partner. And so we had to overcome that. So we teach you how to overcome that and how to actually market your team. You see, a lot of people are like, well, if I was to send somebody else out, my clients might get upset because they're expecting me. That's why you want to market your team. When I say to a realtor, well, who are you marketing? And they're saying, well, I market me. Well, that's why your clients are disappointed when somebody else comes out. So we teach you how to market yourself as a team, as a bonus, right? A benefit. When you hire Craig, you get Craig and his entire team for the same price as hiring a solo agent. So now I'm making more money and I'm starting to back out my time. Okay. First of all, I stopped working weekends. Then I stopped working a couple evenings during the week. And I get to this point where it's like, oh my God, this is a real business. Think about this. If you want a real paradigm shift. Here's a great question. How many homes could you sell if it didn't depend on you? Like, how many listings could you serve? How many buyers could you show houses to? Or how many buyers could you work with if it didn't just depend on you? The answer is there's no limit. So I get this thing up to selling 600 homes a year. Now, the crazy part is, during the end of my career, this business is still operating up in Toronto, and I had bought a house in Sarasota, Florida. So my kids are going to school in Sarasota. Like, we're full on living there. We bought a house on an island. I've got the boat. The house is right on the beach. And my real estate business is checking out 600 home sales. Let me know in the comments, how many of you want that? How many of you would like something like that? Whatever your version is for you. You see, it's funny because when I go back, if I was to go back to the RE/MAX office today, the RE/MAX office that I started at 30 years ago, I would meet some of the same realtors that worked with me back 30 years ago. And sadly, for most of them, their life isn't any better at all. I would argue that for many of them, their life is actually worse. I met one guy not long ago. He lost his whole family to real estate. He ended up being divorced. His kids kind of disowned him. He owned a beautiful house when I first met him 30 years ago. Now the guy's renting. He's basically ruined his life. And this is a realtor that always made a couple $100,000 a year. It wasn't like he was a failure. So the point is, doing it the traditional way, making a couple $100,000 a year, how much do you keep of that after all your advertising, your marketing expenses, and your taxes and what you pay your brokerage? It's just not enough to get ahead. So this individual actually just had a bad job. That's all they really created. Now, I have some information here for you, folks, on how to do this. I have a free report that I've created that lays out the steps. Okay, everything we're talking about here, how I started, the mistakes that I made, what I did first, what I did second, what I did third. How many of you would like that free report? If you type into the comments below, free report, so free space report, someone on my team will get that out to you, okay? I want to show you how I did this. I want to give you this vision because, as I said earlier, once you see this, you can't unsee it. Once I get your attention with this and you understand kind of how this works and the opportunity for you, it would be very difficult for you to continue doing what you're doing now. I mean, who wants to cold call or work 60, 70 hours a week or buy all these ridiculous leads that real estate agents buy that aren't even leads at all? You know what I'm talking about. When you're buying these leads, you're not doing the marketing. You've actually abdicated the marketing to Zillow, okay, or a realtor or wherever you're buying your leads from. And guess what happens? When you call them, first of all, they don't answer. And if they do answer, what do they say to you? They say, oh, I didn't request that. I don't remember that. We're just thinking about it. We're not interested. That's tough. That's really a tough battle. And it's completely unnecessary. You see, your calls are unwanted and they're unwelcome. Why don't we just reverse the prospecting process? Why don't we truly understand what it is that buyers and sellers really want instead of just doing what everyone else is doing? That's what I did. That's what the thousands of agents that I coach do. This is called my ARPS system, ARPS. It stands for my automatic ARPS, automatic reverse prospecting system. It's simply like offer what they want and experiment with the different offers. And we're going to run these offers, these ads on social media, and we're going to run them offline as well. Let me give you a secret here. First of all, I want to do a little test. Everybody right now, type in, I want to learn how to do this. Type that in right now. I want to learn how to do this. Let's put that into comments. And we will follow up. If you want to learn how to do this, if you're open to this, type into the comments, I want to learn how to do this. Now, when you interact with this presentation that I'm giving right now, do you know that Facebook has pixeled you, right? When you're watching this and when you interact with this, actually more people start to see this presentation, okay? That's the way the Facebook algorithm works. One of the things that I would teach you to do, and this is a great idea, is show you how to do a presentation on video, on social media, just like this. So you can deliver this presentation to thousands of buyers and sellers in your marketplace. So right now, I think you would agree, this is costing me nothing to do, right? I'm live on Facebook. And some of you are going to be really interested in this, and you're going to start to see my video, my content in your newsfeed, whether you want to or not, because you've been pixeled by Facebook. So I'm able right now to give you a pretty good presentation. So what have you discovered? Well, maybe I kind of like this Craig Proctor's approach. He's demonstrated that he knows what he's doing. I've built maybe some credibility and authority with you. But I want to teach you how to do this with your clients, right? I want to teach you how to present unique things that the buyers and sellers in your marketplace can't get anywhere else. And once they start to watch your content, then you're able to push inexpensively future videos out on Facebook, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and pretty soon you create omnipresence. Now, the crazy thing is, when people start to see you all the time, first battle is obscurity, right? That's the first battle most agents have, is nobody knows who they are. It's hard to call somebody that you don't know who they are. But the next step is to meaningfully set you apart from the other agents. Because just because someone knows who you are doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do business with you, right? I'll prove that. How many of you have had a friend or a relative, someone you know quite well, and they list their home with another agent? You can't say, well, they didn't know me. No, they didn't understand the benefit of using you versus all other options. This is the power of smart, modern marketing. I want to teach you how to do this. Now, in the beginning, you're going to be going out in all the appointments. And that's good, right? That's what should happen. I would never suggest that you delegate appointments when you can take them yourself. Why would you want to split the commission when you're ready and able and available to do it? But I want to get you to that point where you can't do it all. I want you to say, Craig, you've created a monster here. I actually cannot service all the buyers and sellers. Boom. Now it's going to be really easy for us to recruit agents for you, right? How easy would it be if you called an agent that you respected, you knew in your marketplace, and you knew they're maybe struggling, but they're a good agent, and you said, hey, I have what you want. I have a steady stream of buyers and seller appointments. Why don't you come and we'll partner up in some kind of capacity? And when you get it working for one agent, right, then that's your proof. When you go to recruit the second licensed agent, all you have to do is point at the first one and say, see, here's Lindy. She only had her license for a year. She made $250,000 last year. Now, if you want to get information on this, again, type in the word free report. I've actually literally created a report laying out all the steps and the misconceptions. In fact, here I've written down some of the misconceptions. Some of you think this is hard. It's not that hard. Okay. Once you have someone show you how to do it, believe me, it's not hard. Or you think, well, this is something other people can do or I can't do. That's a paradigm thing. Or their market, my marketplace is different. You don't understand my marketplace. Everybody thinks that. Every real estate agent thinks, well, my situation's different. It's unique. My market's different. I have real estate agents that I coach for the last 30 years. They're from all over the world. They're all literally all over the world, all over the United States, all over Canada. I have students in England. Okay. I have people in Australia, all over. People are people. This thing works. Now, another thing I want to talk to you about is I have a private Facebook group. Right now, I'm not in the private group. I'm just on my business page. How many of you would like to get behind the curtain inside my private Facebook group? It's free, by the way. And we just give you more content like this. And you're going to meet other agents that are making millions of dollars a year inside the Craig Proctor system. So you don't have to be, like a Craig Proctor member or whatever. We invite everyone. We've got, I think, almost 7,000 top agents inside my private Facebook group. If you would like to get an invitation to the private group, just type in private group. Type private group into the comments right now, and I'll get you an invitation. The best thing that you can do, honestly, if you're interested in this, is book a call with me and my team. That's what I would do if I was you. If you're interested in how do I do this, how does it all work, just book a free call. There's no downside to it. This is how this would work. If someone could type in Proctor Call, no space, just Proctor, my name, call.com, that's a clickable link. Okay, so if someone types that in, you can click on that link and you would go to my Acuity Day Timer. You'd pick a day and a time, and I would ask you a bunch of questions about where you are in your business right now, what you're doing, why you're doing it that way, right? Like you have a routine. You literally have a routine that's getting you the results that you're getting. Let me explain by me. Like you have a morning routine. You have a morning ritual. Like for me, my morning ritual might be, get up, go into the shower, go downstairs, have a coffee, make some breakfast, whatever, watch the news, whatever my routine is. Well, that's your personal routine. And the people you live with, they probably have a routine. It might even annoy you, right? But you also have a work or business routine. Okay, you've got your morning ritual, your morning routine, but you actually have a business routine. So what do you do all day? Well, I go to the office, I pull off the expireds. We're going to analyze what you do, why you do it, and for free, without obligation, we would give you some other approaches to try. We would say, well, look, have you considered this? You're doing it this way, but the millionaire agents are actually doing it this way here. Book your call for free right now, no obligation. Go to proctorcall.com. Again, if someone could type that into comments, no space, just proctorcall.com. Also, I want to invite you to a big conference I'm having in Anaheim, California. Now, we're doing it virtually as well. So if you're like, well, I don't think I can make it out to California, that's fine. We stream it virtually, but it's also better in person because you get to meet all my millionaire agents. The dates of the conference are September 26th to the 28th in Anaheim, California. And if someone could type in CraigProctorSeminar.com, no spaces, just CraigProctorSeminar.com. It's a really detailed website. It'll tell you the agenda, exactly what you're going to learn, who all the presenters are. And here's the best part. You're guaranteed that this is going to work for you. We give you a full 100% money back guarantee. We call it a judge and leave guarantee. We have an early bird special on right now, but if you attend the event, either in person in Anaheim, California, or you just watch it from home, after the 3 days is over, if you're not completely blown away, just email us and we'll give you a full refund. Okay, you should be using these kind of guarantees in your business. Some of the guarantees that really worked well for me, the biggie was your home sold or I'll buy it. You're like, well, I could never do that, or how does that work, or that sounds risky, or didn't you get stuck buying a lot of homes, or that sounds kind of gimmicky, or that wouldn't work in my marketplace. I've heard all that before, but let me tell you this, it's the number one thing that sellers want. Your home sold guaranteed at a price acceptable to you, or I'll buy it. Some of you are like, well, how does that work? Book a call with me. Go to proctorcall.com. Maybe that guarantee sounds too scary. I get it. Initially, people are kind of freaked out by that, but I've made millions and millions of dollars. I've helped other realtors make millions of dollars with these powerful guarantees. How about something simple like this? Your home sold, okay, an offer on your home, like an acceptable offer on your home, in under 30 days, or I'll reduce my commission by $1,000. Some of you are like, well, I don't want to cut my commission by $1,000. No, it'll actually help you earn your full commission. You say to the seller, if you take my advice on asking price, I guarantee to have an acceptable offer on your home in under 30 days, or when it does sell, if it sells in 35 days, I'll deduct $1,000 off my commission. Of course, if it doesn't sell at all, there is no commission, and so you can't reduce the commission because there isn't any. We have all of these performance guarantees, and I'll tell you why they work. Because nobody else guarantees their work. I mean, guarantee is an overused word in real estate. Real estate agents will say, well, I'll guarantee I'll sell your home fast, or I'll guarantee I'll get you the highest price, or I guarantee great service. It's just words. But when you give buyers and sellers written guarantees, specific guarantees, up front and in writing, it'll help you attract strangers that otherwise wouldn't have called you, and it'll help them understand that they should be using you versus all the other real estate agents, helps you differentiate yourself, and it'll help you build a pretty powerful business. There's very specific marketing techniques that I use that's not about just advertising yourself or advertising your listings. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we're taught, right? Well, what you advertise when you get into real estate, you advertise yourself. So, my broker said to me, well, Craig, go outside, stand beside my BMW 7 Series and take a picture. Okay? And then I want you to, on the ad, I want you to say, I work hard, I'm honest, I have integrity, or whatever, put the Remax balloon on it. That's what they told me to do. So I did that, and it didn't work very well, right? That's what everyone else is doing. Or they say, advertise your listing. Now, I'm not saying don't advertise your listing, but I want you to think about this. Okay, because here's the truth about this, right? When you advertise your listing and you get a sign call or an ad call, isn't it true that the vast majority of buyers that inquire about your listing eliminate the property once you give them the information? Right? Like, you're trying to do a good job for your seller, but the buyer says to you, it's a 3-bedroom, I'm looking for a 4-bedroom. They tell you it's too big, it's too small, it's in the wrong location, whatever. Now, when they eliminate the house, have you noticed how they want to try to eliminate you? Right? As soon as they eliminate the house, so it's too big, too small, wrong location, too much money, or whatever, they want to get off the phone. And so what we learned to do is call conversion, right? We wouldn't let them just hang up the phone. I hope you don't anyway. Hopefully you know to say, well, what are you looking for? And they tell you what they're looking for, and then you tell them about other homes that would match their criteria. And the homes you're talking about are usually not your listings, and often they're not even listed with your brokerage. They're just homes that are for sale with other agents. So we teach you how to, instead of just focusing on the listings that you have, because that's an offer that has tiny, narrow appeal, we show you how to make wide, universal offers. That make sense? Instead of offering what you have, what you want to do is offer what it is that buyers and sellers want. And there's a tremendous difference with this. But what do we know when we get into real estate? They're like, well, go, run an image ad. If you're a dog lover, get a picture of you and your dog. If you like to golf, a picture of you and your golf bag. Have a slogan. You work with your spouse. It's spouses selling houses. We heart referrals. That's what we're taught that marketing is, and it's not. Okay, it's not about us. It's not about advertising us. It's not about advertising what we have, the listing we have. It's about understanding what buyers and sellers want and offering what they want. If you owned a store, okay, and in your store you've got shelves, what would you want to stock your shelves with in your store? Would you stock your shelves with items that hardly anybody was interested in? Or instead, would you want to stock your shelves with items, with products that everybody wanted? Of course, the latter. It's the same thing in real estate. So here's an example of what I teach you to do. I would teach you to examine your marketplace, okay, to look at your marketplace and identify what categories of homes are selling the best. Forget about what you have listed, right? In my marketplace, it might be an area called Glenaway Estates, these nice golf course homes. It's high demand. How do I know? I go to MLS and these things are selling like hotcakes. So do the research, find out what's selling like hotcakes in your marketplace. That's what you're going to offer. They don't have to be your listings. You're not going to say they're your listings. You're going to say, I know of. Can everybody do that? I know of. I know of several beautiful homes in, you fill in the blank. What's your high demand area? You don't have to have the kind of listings. You can say as a realtor, I know of. You do this anyway, right? When you get an ad call or a sign call and they say it's too big, too small, or whatever, you go on and tell them about other homes you don't have listed. I'm just saying do it up front. So my ad might look like Glenaway Estates, free list of golf course properties between this price range and that price range, including, how about this? Including distress sales or vacant homes, okay? Or unlisted and off-market properties. Make it sound desirable. Now you're like, how do I do that? How do I find unlisted and off-market properties? We show you how to do this. Imagine if you said to the buyer, not only will I send you immediate access to all the new homes that are on the MLS, which means on the internet, right? They can find those themselves. But in addition, I can get you access to vacant homes, to distress sales, to bank foreclosures, and to unlisted and unmarket properties. They say, well, how does that work? Simply tell me what you're looking for, and we will go out, we'll use our specific target marketing, and we will find sellers that aren't even on the market yet. You literally would be the only buyer that knows about these properties. They're not open to the public yet. How many buyers would say, yeah, I'm interested? Well, how do I find out about that? Well, when can we get together so we can take down what you're looking for? So these aren't gimmicks or tricks. These are real strategies. That's why I've created more millionaire real estate agents than any other coach, guru, or trainer out there. Stick with Craig Proctor. Folks, we got to wrap it up. I hope you've enjoyed it here today. Go to proctorcall.com. Book your call with my team. It's a conversation. What's the downside? It costs you nothing. Let us enlighten you. Let us show you what this is all about, and then you can judge and leave. You don't like it after 5 minutes, say, yeah, this is not for me. But once you see this, remember, you can't unsee it. Once you hear it, you can't unhear it. So proctorcall.com, that's a clickable link. Go there. If you want information on my 3-day conference, if you liked this, we've been on this for like 40 minutes. How would you like to spend 3 days with me and my millionaire agents? Everyone speaking is either going to be me, who's made millions of dollars selling real estate every year, or it'll be one of my millionaire agents. People that are making millions of dollars actually doing the thing they're talking about. Not theory, not something they read in a book, not something they heard from somebody else. You're going to get the nitty-gritty details. How many times have you been to seminars, or maybe you're in some kind of coaching now or in the past, and they talk to you from the 30,000 foot level? Well, you should do this. But when you ask specific questions, well, how do I do it? They can't tell you because they've never lived it. Look, I believe I can better help you because I better understand you. Why do I better understand you? I was in the trenches just like you for over 25 years as one of the top agents in North America. So come to the conference, CraigProctorSeminar.com. You can get all the information. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. You come at my risk, not yours, with the Craig Proctor Judge and Leave guarantee. Hey, folks, I hope you enjoyed this today. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you like this. And remember, turn on notifications so you get all my stuff. And if you think this is beneficial to someone you know, you can click on the share button. Maybe you want to share this with your broker because your broker owner wants to help the agents in your office become successful. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you all again next time. This is Real Estate Coach Craig Proctor. Take care. Have a good day. We'll see you next time. This is Craig Proctor. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed that video. And listen, I've got a lot more information for you to help you grow your real estate business. You see, several times a week, I record new videos and I load them onto this YouTube channel. What I'd like you to do, if you'd like to access them, are 2 important things, and both are totally free. Number 1 is I'd like you to subscribe to this channel. You're going to see a little subscribe button for you to click on. And if you don't already have an account with YouTube, it's free for you to set it up. It's really easy, it's free, but you've got to subscribe to this channel. And the most important thing is to ring the little bell right next to the subscribe button. And that's going to let you know every time I load new money-making videos to help you grow your real estate business. So make sure you subscribe right now, you ring the little bell, and we'll see you on the next video.